Honey, I've fallen in love with another man. Since when? And how far has this gone? That man is... It's that poor student we've been sponsoring. Gui Xiao and I, we haven't done anything yet. And Yuan, I'm sorry. I know this is selfish. But Bai Xiao and I share a spiritual connection. He might be poor, but he has character. He has convictions. There's a spark in his eyes that you just don't have. So he's better than me, right? I didn't mean it like that. You're great, Fang Yuan. It's just that we're no longer compatible. Gui Bai Xiao is the only one who gives me the feeling of love. Fine. Very well. If that's your choice, I'll let you go. We'll divorce according to our initial agreement. I'll leave with my dignity intact. Thank you. No need for that. Since you want true love, then try living a life without money. The game has begun. I am Fang Yuan, married for 3 years. I have never mistreated Bai Ningbing. She liked buying luxury bags, and I never once looked at the price tag. She liked traveling everywhere, so I set aside multi-billion-dollar deals to travel the world with her. She felt pity and wanted to sponsor a poor student, and I agreed immediately. Every year, I transferred 700 million for his tuition. I even covered all of his living expenses. I gave her everything I possibly could, except for my true identity. My salary is 3.5 billion a year. I own houses and cars in this city. She always thought I was just some high-level employee, unaware that the company actually belongs to me. I hold half of all the commercial real estate in this entire city. I thought our happy days would last forever, until today. She decided to leave me for a penniless student. Huh! Old Lee, Director Fang, please give your orders. First prepare the divorce settlement. I will leave empty-handed, but reclaim every house and car under my name. She will receive the notice tomorrow. Second, investigate Gui Bai Xiao, junior at Zhangzhou University. Cut off all sponsorship. Call the Zhangzhou University president immediately. Tell him it's my order. This student has some serious character issues. Tell them to handle it. Third, notify the group and all partner companies to permanently blacklist Gui Bai Xiao. I want to make sure he can't find any job, paying over 10 million in this city. Understood, I'll get right on it. Didn't you want true love? Didn't you think that poor kid had spirit? I'll force him to show his true colors. I'll make you watch and see that when a man loses everything I bestowed upon him, how much that so-called spirit and love are actually worth. You wanted to live a life without being caged. Fine, I'll let you taste what real hardship feels like. Director Fang, the lawyer has sent over the divorce agreement. Ms. Bai reacted very strongly when she saw it. She broke down on the spot and demanded to see you. She said you lied to her, said you're too cruel, I won't see her. One more thing, Director Fang. After we cut the sponsorship, Gui Bai Xiao immediately went to see Ms. Bai. But it wasn't to comfort her. He kept demanding to know why the funding was cut, asking if he had offended you. Keep monitoring them. I want to know their every move. Copy that. Leaving empty-handed means kicking me out of the house. Fang Yuan, what do you mean by this? I looked at the message with cold indifference. There wasn't a single flicker of emotion in my heart. 3 years of feelings. Ended the day she chose someone else. Bai Ningbing, the game has only just begun. You heartless jerk. Cheating my daughter, playing with Bai Ningbing's feelings. And now you want to kick us out? Get out here right now. Director Fang, should I call security to escort her out? No need, just let her throw a fit. Tell Fang Yuan to get out here. What kind of man hides like a coward? In the afternoon, my mother-in-law came to the company and caused a scene in the lobby for over half an hour. She only stopped when I refused to show my face. Her previous sycophantic attitude toward me was completely gone. Back when I first married Bai Ningbing, the first time my mother-in-law visited our home, her eyes lit up, seeing that 105 billion villa. Fang Yuan, you really are a good son-in-law. We're one family from now on. If only we had another luxury apartment in the city center, that would be wonderful. Later, when her son was getting married and needed a house, she wanted me to gift him a high-end condo downtown. I'm sorry, but I can't do that. You don't treat us like family. Since then, she's treated me with nothing but coldness, constantly claiming I don't see them as family. Now I finally see clearly. What they loved was never me, but only my money. Ms. Bai, on behalf of Gui Bai Xiao, has gone to the house we previously rented. Ms. Bai has the keys, and they have already moved in. Put that house up for sale. Tell the agent to bring viewers tomorrow. I don't want dogs living in my house. Yes, Director Fang. Moving on it now. By early evening, I received an unexpected phone call. It was Bai Ningbing's father calling. He's an honest and sensible man. Hello, Uncle. Fang Yuan, I'm so sorry. Please don't say that, Uncle. This has nothing to do with you. It's my fault for not raising my daughter well. Her mother is also being unreasonable and caused trouble for you. I've already scolded them. Things have already come to this. Saying those things is useless. I know you're angry in your heart. Could you please show some mercy for my sake and leave her a way out? Don't be too heartless. After all, she was once your wife. You are a good man, Uncle. But a good man shouldn't speak up for a fool. Bai Ningbing is an adult now. She must take responsibility for her choices. I gave her a chance, but she didn't want it. As for a way out, don't worry. I won't let her die. I want her to see with her own eyes how the love she chose is crushed by reality. After saying that, I hung up. The next day on the Zhangzhou University homepage, an emergency notice was posted in the most prominent spot. On the Zhangzhou University homepage, an emergency notice was posted in the most prominent spot regarding the disciplinary action for the class of 2023 student, Gui Baxiao, for violations of discipline. The notice used harsh language, clearly pointing out that Gui Baxiao exploited sponsorships for personal gain, falsified poverty certificates when his family was actually not struggling at all, hiding the truth to scam all the subsidies, and committed acts of academic fraud at the school. Wow, I didn't expect him to be this kind of person. What a deep act. The university decided to expel him, announcing it to the entire campus. The news grew wings, spreading throughout Zhangzhou University. In an instant, Gui Baxiao went from an elite, underprivileged student to a sponsorship scammer overnight. Those who used to surround and flatter him now avoided him like the plague. Even his academic advisor looked at him coldly. He gripped his phone, displaying the notice, each word like a knife, shredding his last bit of dignity. His face went pale as a ghost, fingers trembling from the strain. Why me? Why did the school suddenly investigate me? How did it end up like this? Gui Baxiao turned sharply to look at Bai Ningbing beside him, his eyes full of panic and questioning. Not a trace remained of his usual calm and arrogance. Bai Ningbing was also stunned. Last night, she was still sobbing over the divorce agreement, barely being coaxed by a few words from Gui Baxiao. I'll stay by your side. He had just comforted her. But this morning, they were hit with such a heavy blow. She instinctively wanted to defend Gui Baxiao. That's impossible. Baxiao is not that kind of person. It must be Fang Yuan. He's behind this. He's taking revenge on us, Fang Yuan. Gui Baxiao's voice suddenly grew shrill. The panic in his eyes faded slightly, replaced by intense resentment and bitterness. It's him. It's definitely him. Cutting the sponsorship and getting me expelled? Bai Ningbing. Didn't you say he let you go? How could he be so cruel? Bai Ningbing was left speechless by his interrogation. Her heart swelled with a sense of grievance and rage. She took out her phone to message Fang Yuan, typing and then deleting. She finally sent a single sentence, Fang Yuan, you've gone too far. Why would you destroy Gui Baxiao's future? At this time, Fang Yuan was sitting in front of the floor-to-ceiling window of his office on the top floor of the corporate building, looking down at the city's bustling traffic. The assistant, Old Li, brought over the freshly printed evidence regarding Gui Baxiao, falsifying his poverty certificate, and said with a smirk, Director Fang, this Gui Baxiao really does have issues. His hometown family is actually part of a land compensation settlement in Weigong. His parents own 2 resettlement houses. He was never poor to begin with. Back then, he faked the documents just to scam the sponsorship money. Fang Yuan glanced at the evidence, his finger lightly tapping the windowsill. His tone was calm, as expected. That so-called character of his was built entirely on my sponsorship. The phone vibrated. He opened Bai Ningbing's message, gave it a quick glance, and then deleted it. He told Old Li, send the house compensation documents from Gui Baxiao's family to Bai Ningbing. Jian. And while you're at it, tell her that what I'm doing is far from over. When Bai Ningbing received the message, she was with Gui Baxiao at the Academic Affairs office begging for mercy. Seeing the compensation agreement and the bank statement, she felt as if she'd been struck by lightning, standing frozen on the spot for a long time, speechless. Gui Baxiao saw her expression change and leaned in to look. His face immediately turned pale. How did you get these? Feng Yuan sent them to me. Why is he intentionally trying to drive us apart? Drive us apart. You tell me right now, did your family actually get land compensation or not? Are you actually not poor at all? Were all the hardships you told me about just lies? Gui Baxiao's gaze shifted away, not daring to look her in the eye. His tone softened instantly. My family did get compensated, but that's my parents' money. I didn't want to depend on them. I wanted to make it on my own. On your own. By scamming Fang Yuan's sponsorship money, by taking the money he gave you, and telling me that you have spirit and ideals, Bai Ningbing's heart began to sink. That so-called spiritual connection, the love she had always been so proud of, seemed utterly ridiculous at this moment. The office teacher lost patience and waved them away. Stop pleading. The higher-ups have already decided expulsion. Pack your things and leave the campus immediately. Furthermore, the sponsorship money you scammed, the school will recover it according to the law. Stepping out of the office, both remained silent the whole way. They returned to the house Feng Yuan had previously rented. The moment they opened the door, they saw a realtor leading several people in the living room. The realtor smiled and said, "Hello, the owner has put this house up for sale. I'm showing clients around today. Please pack your things quickly. You have 3 days to move out per the owner's deadline." Why Bai Ningbing couldn't believe it. Feng Yuan rented this house. How can he just sell it whenever he wants? The owner said it's his house, he sells if he wants to. The realtor said flatly, "Let me remind you both. The furniture and appliances in here belong to the owner. You aren't allowed to take anything. Just move out as soon as possible." After the realtor finished the viewing and left, Gui Baxiao completely exploded. "This is all your fault, Bai Ningbing. If it weren't for you insisting on divorcing Feng Yuan, would I be in this mess? I got expelled from school. I can't find a job, and now I don't even have a place to stay. It's all your fault." Bai Ningbing was stunned by his screaming, But immediately after, she also flared up in anger. It's my fault. You were the one who told me before that we had a spiritual connection. You were the one who said you could give me love. Now that things have gone south, you push all the blame on me. Guibai Xiao, don't you have even a shred of capability? Capability. What good is capability now? Fang Yuan has blocked every path for me. I can't find a single job in this city. Guibai Xiao kicked the chair beside his feet, his eyes full of savage fury. Is he that rich? Can he really cover the sky with one hand? I'll risk my life to get even with him. Bai Ningbing looked at the man with the hideous face before her, and her heart went numb. This wasn't the love she had imagined, nor was he that young man with the bright eyes from years ago. He was just a coward defeated by reality, who only knew how to wallow in self-pity and blame others. She quietly turned around and went into the room, starting to pack her things. The designer bags she once treated like treasures, the luxury items now all became burdens. She had no job and no income. She absolutely couldn't afford to maintain this lifestyle. Over the next 3 days, the lives of the two became a total mess. Bai Ningbing wanted to sell her luxury bags for cash, but discovered that those bags were all custom-made from abroad by Fang Yuan. Without the original receipts, secondhand shops refused to take them. She could only sell them for cheap at a pawn shop. The amount of money she got back wasn't even enough to pay for 1 month's rent. Guibai Xiao scrambled everywhere looking for work, submitting dozens of resumes only to get no response, or being recognized by the interviewer during the process as the student expelled from Jiangzhou University. They didn't even give him a trial period. After much struggle, he finally found a restaurant to work as a server. With a monthly salary of 10 million Vietnamese dong, he didn't even last a day before the manager fired him for his terrible attitude. It turned out the owner was a partner of Fang Yuan and had received the notice long ago. Guibai Xiao was at the end of his rope. He completely tore off his gentle mask, venting all of his resentment viciously onto Bai Ningbing. He didn't just use the cold shoulder, he shouted at the slightest provocation, verbally abusing her and even secretly pawning her luxury bags to take the meager living allowance to buy cigarettes and alcohol. Once Bai Ningbing took the remaining 180,000 Vietnamese dong to buy some vegetables and eggs for nourishment. For the past few days, she could only gnaw on plain bread, and her stomach had been aching for a while. But Guibai Xiao threw the money on the ground, stomping on the bills and screaming, "Is eating all you think about? This money has to last until the end of the month. Do you want me to starve to death?" The bills were covered in muddy footprints, just like Bai Ningbing's last shred of hope being crushed. She slumped down to pick them up, her fingertips icy, and her heart feeling even colder to the core. Bai Ningbing looked at his hateful, petty appearance, and her mind couldn't help but be flooded with images from the past. She had only offhandedly mentioned liking a limited edition bag, and the next day, Fang Yuan had placed it on her nightstand, smiling and saying as long as she was happy it was fine. Late at night, she craved sweet soup from an old shop in the south of the city. Even if Fang Yuan was in the middle of a cross-border online meeting, he would have the driver race tens of kilometers, so it was still perfectly warm when it arrived. She used to think those things were stifling, but now she finally understands. That was Fang Yuan, pampering her like a flower in a greenhouse, yet she insisted on jumping into the mud and embracing a world full of thorns. She wanted to contact Fang Yuan, wanting to beg him for another chance, but discovered that her WeChat and phone number had been blocked long ago. She didn't even dare to set foot near Fang Yuan's company anymore. She had no face left to see him and feared the coldness in his eyes. Right then, Mother Bai tracked them down. As soon as she entered, she started wailing at Bai Ningbing. "Oh, my sweet daughter. How did you end up living so miserably? Your younger brother's new wedding house is still nowhere in sight. You said before that Fang Yuan could help us. Now look at you. You don't even have a fixed place to stay yourself. There's nothing I can do now," Bai Ningbing said exhaustedly. "Fang Yuan has already divorced me. He won't help us anymore. If there's no way, you have to find one." The mother-in-law's eyes darted toward Guibai Xiao. "Little Gui, didn't you say you were capable? Hurry up and find a good job for my daughter, and buy a house for my son." Guibai Xiao's face turned pale and then flushed. Impatiently, he said, "If I were capable, would I be rotting here? Don't push me." "So what if I push you? You stole my daughter away, so you have to take responsibility for her." Mother Bai wouldn't let it go and kept screaming, reaching out to grab Guibai Xiao's shirt. Annoyed and harassed, Guibai Xiao's temper exploded. He violently shoved Mother Bai away. The force made the old woman stumble and hit the wall. A red bruise swelled up on her forehead. Not only did he show no remorse, but he also glared fiercely at Bai Ningbing. "This is all the trouble you caused. Nothing good ever happens being with you." After saying that, he took advantage of the chaos to rush into Bai Ningbing's room, stole her remaining 1 million Vietnamese dong in cash, and slammed the door as he left. He never showed his face again, completely vanishing from Jiangzhou. Mother Bai, pushed to the ground, wailed even louder. Bai Ningbing looked at the chaotic scene before her and felt her heart grow cold. She helped her mother up and whispered, "Mom, please go home. I'll handle my own problems." "Handle it? How are you going to handle it?" Mother Bai stood up, pointing at her face and scolding. "I told you before that Fang Yuan was a good son-in-law, but you wouldn't listen. You insisted on following that penniless loser just to fool around. Now look at you, you've lost everything. You truly deserve this. After saying that Mother Bai also left, leaving Bai Ningbing to sob bitterly alone in the empty rented room. Finally, she truly understood Fang Yuan's words. Real hardship isn't just the lack of fine silk and luxury, it's the absolute despair. When hope is extinguished piece by piece. Having no luxury bags was nothing. Having no gourmet food could be tolerated. But the endless arguments, the coldness of being betrayed, the misery of not having enough food or warm clothes, and the regret that seeps into one's bones. These things gnawed at her day and night. She hugged her knees on the cold floor, searching for the last remaining photo of her and Fang Yuan together. In the photo, she was smiling brightly, while Fang Yuan looked at her tenderly, his eyes full of adoration. Finally, it hit her like a ton of bricks. The spiritual connection she had been chasing was nothing more than a lie woven by Gui Baixiao. He had exploited her pity and her boredom with the quiet life as a stepping stone for his own gain. That spirit he always talked about had always been built on the foundation of Fang Yuan's sponsorship. Once that protection was gone, only selfishness and cowardice remained. And Fang Yuan, he never treated her like a bird in a cage. He had given her all his tolerance and pampering. She had trampled on that sincere love with her own hands. To keep surviving, Bai Ningbing was forced to swallow her pride and apply for a cashier job at a small supermarket near her rental. With a monthly salary of 10.5 million, she stood from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day. After 12 hours, her legs were so swollen, she could barely bend them. Previously, she never had to lift a finger for housework. She didn't even know how to turn on a gas stove. Now she had to stay in a cramped rental room, staring gloomily at a pile of cheap vegetables, calculating how to cook them to make them edible. Before, she'd call a taxi whenever she went out, complaining about the smell on the bus. Now she had to count every minute to catch the last bus, staring at the crowd squeeze into the carriage, looking at the familiar designer clothes on others, while only being able to hang her head to hide the bitterness and regret in her eyes. Once the supermarket stocked a batch of imported chocolates that she used to eat all the time. The price tag was 280,000 Vietnamese dong. She counted the loose change in her pocket, hesitating, and finally put it back down. That 280,000 Vietnamese dong was enough for 3 days of groceries, enough to pay half a month's electricity and water bill. She suddenly remembered how Fang Yuan would keep a drawer filled with chocolates of all flavors, just because she once said that sweets made her feel better when she was down. As for Gui Baixiao, ever since he ran off with Bai Ningbing's roll of cash, his life had become increasingly desperate. He couldn't find a single decent job. Fang Yuan's influence was like an invisible net, trapping him at the bottom of society. He couldn't handle manual labor on construction sites, he was despised while handing out flyers, and was rejected as a security guard because of his record of being expelled. Driven to a dead end, he turned to crime, trying to pull a scam the driver insurance fraud. As it turned out, on his very first attempt, he crashed into the car of one of Fang Yuan's partners. He thought he could extort a large sum, but was instead subdued on the spot by bodyguards and dragged before Fang Yuan in his office. Gui Baixiao looked at the man sitting regally behind the desk, working, a Fang Yuan with a powerful aura. With no trace of his former noble attitude left, he collapsed to the floor, repeatedly kowtowing and begging. "Director Fang, I was wrong. I shouldn't have seduced Bai Ningbing. I shouldn't have scammed your sponsorship money. I beg you, please give me a way out." Fang Yuan looked up and glanced at him, his tone cold and without a single ripple. "I gave you a way out a long time ago. You were the one who chose the path to ruin." Having said that, he ordered the guards to drag him out. Not only did he call the police, but he also ensured he had a criminal record for the failed scam. From then on, no boss in Zhangzhou dared to hire him. He could only rely on scavenging for scraps and begging for change to survive. The grand ambitions he once held had long been crushed into the dirt by reality. He didn't even have the courage to look people in the eye anymore. Bai Ningbing saw Fang Yuan on the TV at the supermarket. On the screen, he was a special guest at a charity gala, dressed in a high-end, bespoke suit, speaking elegantly. His composed demeanor and every gesture exuded an aura of being in total control. The MC asked him who he wanted to thank the most. He only gave a faint smile. "I thank those who taught me how to cherish things, and I also thank those who helped me see through the hearts of people." Those words were like a blade, stabbing accurately into Bai Ningbing's heart. She remembered how she once naively said that he didn't have that sparkle like Gui Baixiao. Now she finally understood. Gui Baixiao's sparkle was just the vain disguise of someone who hadn't faced the world, a fake radiance obtained through deception that shattered at a touch. But Fang Yuan's sparkle was the stability earned from the ups and downs of the business world. It was the poise of holding power in his hands, while still knowing how to be gentle. It was a light she would never be worthy of again. She gripped the barcode scanner, her fingers trembling, and tears fell onto the keyboard without warning, blurring the prices on the screen. Finally, she understood. What she lost wasn't just a marriage, but a person who had once treated her as his entire world. Half a year later, Bai Ningbing, due to overwork and prolonged malnutrition, ended up falling ill. Right at her workplace, she lay on a hospital bed, staring at the cold ceiling, without a single person by her side to care for her. She took out her phone and scrolled through her contacts. Finally, she could only call her father. Her father rushed to the hospital and saw his daughter looking frail and haggard. He wept in heartbreak. Ningbing, come home with me. I'll take care of you for the rest of your life. She collapsed into his arms, sobbing uncontrollably. The grievances suppressed for the past 6 months, along with her regret, finally exploded. Dad, I was wrong. I was truly wrong. I shouldn't have taken Feng Yuan for granted. I shouldn't have been deceived by that Gui Baixiao. I shouldn't have destroyed my own life with my own hands. He pampered me so much that I took his kindness for granted. I said he didn't have a sparkle. I really am a fool and ungrateful wretch. She choked back tears, recounting the little things Feng Yuan had once done for her, recalling her own past impulsiveness and harshness. With every word, her heart ached even more. She desperately wanted to go back to the past, desperately wanted to say, I'm sorry to someone, but she knew it was all too late. It's good that you've realized your mistake. Her father let out a long sigh. Fang Yuan is a good kid. I tried to advise you back then, but unfortunately, you wouldn't listen. Later, he asked someone to send me a sum of money, telling me to take good care of myself. He said if you were ever in trouble, I could reach out to him for help. Bai Ningbing was stunned. He's still willing to help me. He might still be angry in his heart, but he's not a bad person at his core, her father said. But Ningbing, I hope you understand. Even if he is willing to help you, you can't depend on him anymore. You must learn to stand on your own 2 feet and take responsibility for your choices. Bai Ningbing nodded. After being discharged, she followed her father back to their hometown, found a job as a primary school teacher, living a simple and quiet life. She no longer chased designer brands, no longer longed for vanity, only living peaceful and practical days. Occasionally remembering Feng Yuan, her heart held nothing but endless regret. But she never went looking for him again. She knew she wasn't worthy. As for Gui Baixiao, he was finally completely discarded by Zhang Zhou. After getting a criminal record for the failed scam, even while scavenging for scraps, he was boycotted by others in the trade. He could only wander to a construction site in the suburbs for work, but was fired by the contractor for being lazy and skipping shifts, and even got beaten up by the other workers. After his wounds healed, he didn't dare stay in Zhangzhou any longer. He returned to his hometown in a pathetic state. Word is, his parents later forced him to marry a girl from the next village. Every day, he toils in the fields back to the sun and face to the dirt. Any hint of complaining gets him scolded by his wife and parents. The spiritual connection he used to always talk about, along with his character and ideals, had long been ground down by the struggle for food and money, and the crushing weight of reality. He didn't even dare to mention them. Occasionally chatting with villagers about his glory days, back in Zhangzhou, he only received ridicule in return. Everyone knew he was the sponsorship scammer, who got expelled and tried to fake an accident, absolute scum. In the end, he became the very type of person he despised, the most, spending his whole life proving that things obtained through deception will eventually be struck down by reality. Feng Yuan was in his office, reviewing the new commercial real estate, planning for the Shenlei Group. Old Li knocked and entered, handing over a file, with a respectful tone. Director Fang, the final situation regarding Gui Baixiao and Bai Ningbing has been verified. After Gui Baixiao returned to his village, his reputation as a homewrecker and sponsorship scammer spread through every corner of the neighborhood. The villagers point fingers and curse at him. His wife demands a divorce every single day. His parents have also completely given up on him and kicked him out of the house. He tried to return to Zhangzhou to try his luck, but as soon as he entered the city, our people intercepted him. As per your orders, he is absolutely forbidden from setting even half a foot within Zhangzhou territory. Now he can only wander under bridges in neighboring cities, surviving by scavenging through trash. I heard not long ago, while fighting over leftovers, someone broke his leg. He's now completely crippled. Fang Yuan's eyes never left the planning map, his fingertip tapping lightly on the central commercial district. His tone was indifferent, as if he were discussing a minor, insignificant matter. He brought this on himself. Back when he dared to intervene, scamming sponsorships and touching my woman. He should have expected this outcome. And Bai Ningbing, Ms. Bai returned to her hometown, using the money you sent to recover from her illness. She's pulled every string possible to return to Zhangzhou and had her father message you, begging for a meeting to apologize and ask for forgiveness. She even said she's willing to be your slave to make amends. Old Li hesitated for a moment before adding, she also secretly came to the building 3 times, but was blocked by security each time. She hasn't even been able to catch a glimpse of you. Fang Yuan finally looked up, flicker of cold mockery crossing his eyes. The corner of his mouth curled into a smirk, carrying an aura that crushed everything in its path. Apologize, she's not worthy. I once gave her a life of luxury and treated her with total sincerity. She was the one who bet everything on a scammer, destroying it all with her own hands. Her regret is nothing but self-pity now that she's at a dead end. I have no interest in watching it, and certainly no obligation to forgive. As for her coming back to Zhangzhou, tell security that if they see her, take her straight to the police station for harassment. Old Li acknowledged and retreated. Fang Yuan picked up the fountain pen on his desk and signed his name on the planning document. His feelings over the past 3 years were never his weakness, but rather a costly lesson in misjudging people. His revenge was never just about making them see reality, but making them pay the most painful price for their betrayal. Gui Baixiao lost his dignity for his future and became a despised cripple. Bai Ningbing was left with eternal regret and was blacklisted, living forever in misery for destroying everything herself. This was the ultimate punishment for them. The sunset pierced through the floor-to-ceiling windows, casting shadows across the massive planning board. With a sharp and majestic aura, he lifted his coffee cup for a sip. In his eyes, there was only the sophisticated and cold gaze of a man in total control of the situation. The trashy people and the trashy events of the past had been cleared away thoroughly. No lingering attachments, no simple letting go, only the absolute satisfaction of vengeance achieved. His business empire's map was still expanding. The future would only hold more worthy people and tasks. As for Bai Ningbing and Gui Baixiao, they were merely specks of dust crushed on his path through life. A week later, Fang Yuan, as a top-tier figure in the Zhengzhou business world, attended the City Development Summit. At the entrance of the hall, Bai Ningbing's father intercepted him again. His hair had grayed significantly, his tone pleading, "Director Fang, I beg you to show some mercy and let Ningbing return to Zhengzhou. She knows she was wrong. For the past 6 months, she has cried herself to sleep every day." Fang Yuan cut the old man off, his voice devoid of warmth, his eyes cold as ice. "Uncle, I gave Bai Ningbing a choice from the start. She was the one who chose betrayal. She walked that path herself, so she must swallow the karma that comes with it. Didn't leave her wandering the streets like Gui Baixiao only because I respect you, uncle. If you bring this up again, I won't show you any respect at all." The old man's face turned pale, his lips trembling, unable to utter a word, only able to step aside in dejection. He looked at Fang Yuan's back and finally understood. His own daughter had destroyed her own blessings and they could never be reclaimed. As for Fang Yuan's ruthlessness, it was simply the karma that a traitor deserved. Fang Yuan walked into the hall, and the spotlights immediately hit him. Famous figures scrambled forward to congratulate him. Full of awe and flattery, no one mentioned the past of Bai Ningbing and Gui Baixiao anymore. Those unworthy traitors had no place in his world. He calmly raised his glass, chatting with the guests, his eyes filled with the sharp gaze of a ruler and the peace of having settled a great debt. He had won this revenge battle cleanly, ending it with absolute dominance and no lingering ties. From now on, he rules his commercial empire, dominating far and wide, with no more trivial dust in his eyes, only radiant glory and a wide-open, infinite path. The past betrayal was merely a minor, insignificant interlude in his brilliant life.